Welcome back to my channel Celeb Buzz. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates.
In the depths of Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight, there's a name that once shone brighter than most, Johnny Depp. A name synonymous with magic, adventure, and charisma. But now, his return to that world, the one that gave him everything, is hanging by a thread. A thread made of hope in a film that could define everything. Day Drinker. It's a title that may sound simple, even obscure. But for Johnny Depp, it carries the weight of redemption. It's not just another movie, it's his future. It's his shot at reclaiming the fame, the glory, the respect, all of it. Do you remember the first time you saw Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow? His wild eyes, his unshakable confidence, that unpredictable charm. You could never forget it. For over a decade, Depp was a Hollywood icon, a box office giant. His name brought people to theaters. His presence made films unforgettable. Pirates of the Caribbean, a franchise that grossed over $4.05 billion worldwide. Alice in Wonderland, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. He was the man, a beloved actor who made magic seem real, a face that millions adored. But then it all came crashing down. His career, his image, everything was rocked by a public trial. A trial that the world watched as Johnny Depp found himself entangled in a bitter and heartbreaking battle with his ex-wife, Amber Heard. It wasn't just a legal fight. That was a battle for his reputation, for his dignity, for his very soul. A battle that would test his resilience in ways few could understand. In 2020, Depp lost a libel lawsuit against The Sun, a British tabloid that had called him a wife beater. The verdict left him shattered, as it seemed to seal the fate of his career. He was painted as a villain, his image tarnished in ways that would take years to undo. But Johnny Depp isn't someone who gives up. Instead, he filed a defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard after she wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post, suggesting she was a victim of domestic abuse. And then the world watched again. But this time, something shifted. The tide turned. The court ruled in Depp's favor in 2022, delivering a verdict that felt like a final act of justice for the actor who had lost so much. The headlines shifted from casting him as the villain to once again questioning the story that had been told. Depp had won, but what did that victory really mean? Hollywood had moved on, or so it seemed. After the trial, many wondered, could Johnny Depp ever return to the heights he once soared? Could he reclaim the magic that had made him a star? The answer may lie in Day Drinker, a film that doesn't just represent a role, but a lifeline. Depp is at a crossroads. This isn't just another character to him. It's a test of resilience, of strength, of determination. In 2023, Johnny Depp made his highly anticipated return to the big screen with Jean Barry, and the world watched with bated breath. It wasn't just another film. For Depp, it was a statement. A moment of reckoning, a delicate step forward into the light after years of turmoil and controversy. And yet there was more riding on this than anyone could have anticipated. Fans, critics, and even his staunchest detractors were curious. Could this be the start of a true comeback? Could Johnny Depp reclaim the title that once seemed invincible? Hollywood's beloved star. In John Barry, Depp didn't just take on a role. He also stepped behind the camera as a director. For many, this was a powerful gesture. It was a sign that Johnny wasn't just trying to rebuild his career, but was determined to control his destiny. Directing gave him a sense of ownership, a chance to shape his own narrative. The world watched closely, hoping that this would be the first sign of a grand return. But, as is often the case with Depp, the story was far more complicated than a comeback. With Jean Barry under his belt, many expected Depp's next move to be even more significant. And now that move has arrived. It's a film called Day Drinker, a project that will ultimately decide Johnny Depp's place in Hollywood for the next chapter of his life. This film, with its unique title, carries much more than a simple plotline or intriguing premise. Day Drinker is Depp's chance to prove the world wrong. It's his chance to remind everyone that his legacy is far from over. As the days inch closer to its release, the anticipation is palpable. But beyond the film itself, it's the stakes that are truly terrifying. The box office numbers, the reviews, the reactions from fans, critics, and even fellow Hollywood stars. All eyes are locked in on this movie because it holds the key to Johnny Depp's future. Can he rebuild what he once had, or will this film confirm the doubts that many have had about him? Will the industry accept him back with open arms, or will the shadow of his troubled past loom too large to overcome? It's easy to forget that Johnny Depp wasn't always a symbol of controversy. There was a time when he was one of the most bankable stars in the world. A time when his name alone could open doors and sell tickets. His role as Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean is etched in cinematic history. That franchise alone grossed over $4.05 billion worldwide, catapulting Depp to the top of Hollywood's list. And it wasn't just pirates. Depp became synonymous with risk, taking with characters who lived on the edge. He was the face of eccentric, unpredictable characters. Alice in Wonderland, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, Edward Scissorhands. Each role cemented his place in the hearts of fans around the globe. But that golden era didn't last. In 2020, Johnny Depp found himself thrust into the most public, painful chapter of his life. A libel lawsuit against the Sun tabloid accused him of being a wife-beater in a sensationalized story that forever altered the course of his career. The legal battle and the subsequent media frenzy nearly destroyed Depp's reputation. To some, he was no longer the charming, enigmatic star they had adored. He was the villain in a tabloid drama. It was as though a switch had been flipped. One moment he was beloved by millions, the next he was a pariah. But Johnny Depp is not one to simply fade away. Instead of accepting defeat, he filed a defamation lawsuit against his ex-wife, Amber Heard, after she published an op-ed in the Washington Post accusing him of abuse. It was a long and painful process that took years. The trial in 2022 was a spectacle that drew the attention of millions. It wasn't just a legal battle anymore. It was a public reckoning where Depp's every move, every word was scrutinized. The world watched, some cheering him on, others eager to see him fall. When the trial concluded, the court ruled in Depp's favor. It was a significant victory, but did it really mean anything? For many, it was a bittersweet win. The damage had already been done. The years of controversy had taken their toll. Hollywood had already started to move on, casting aside the once great actor. But Depp wasn't done yet. He wasn't going to let the trials of his past define him forever. Jean Dubarry marked a small but important step toward his return. But now, all eyes are on Day Drinker. What makes this film so critical? It's not just another movie, it's the bridge between Johnny Depp's past and his future. The box office numbers, the reviews, and the reactions from the public will determine if Depp still has the ability to be a star, if the world is willing to forgive him, to welcome him back, and if he can prove that he's still capable of captivating audiences in a way no one else can. The pressure is immense. There's so much more at stake than just the movie itself. Day Drinker is a reflection of Johnny Depp's entire journey. His struggles, his fall from grace, and his fight to regain what he once had. If Day Drinker succeeds, it could signal the dawn of a new chapter in his career, a chapter that might bring Depp back to the heights he once enjoyed, even if it's a different kind of success. But if it fails, it could be the final nail in a coffin that many thought had already been sealed. Johnny Depp has always been a fighter. From the very beginning, his career has been defined by an undeniable resilience, a deep-seated determination to never surrender, no matter how high the odds stacked against him. He has always embraced the unconventional, the daring, the roles that others might shy away from. Whether it was the swashbuckling Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, the eccentric and misunderstood inventor in Edward Scissorhands, or the whimsical, wild Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland, Depp has often taken on roles that seemed destined for failure, yet in his hands, they became unforgettable. His unique ability to bring deeply flawed, yet incredibly complex characters to life is a gift that few can replicate. For Depp, each character was a reflection of himself, a man who thrives in chaos, a man who never backs down. His journey in Hollywood has been filled with turbulent moments, but in every chapter, we saw him rise. He never bowed down, never accepted defeat, and always found that glimmer of hope, that spark that kept him going through the darkest of days. Even in the face of the worst storms, Johnny Depp found ways to come out the other side, battered but never broken. And yet, as resilient as he is, this time is different. This time, it feels like there is no coming back if he falls. The stakes have never been higher, and the pressure more intense. Johnny Depp's career, his legacy, and his future in Hollywood all hang in the balance, and one film, just one, will decide everything. That film is Day Drinker. Unlike the many films Depp has worked on in the past, Day Drinker holds the weight of everything he's fought for. It's not just another paycheck, not just another movie to add to his resume. It's a defining moment in his career, a chance to reclaim his place among Hollywood's elite, or to be forever cast aside as a star whose time has passed. The questions linger. Will Depp be able to light that spark again? Can he prove to the world and to himself that the magic is still there? That despite the scandals, the public battles, and the years of turmoil, he still has the ability to captivate audiences and leave them begging for more? Or will Day Drinker mark the end of his career, a sad and inevitable conclusion to a once brilliant journey? In so many ways, this film is not just about the story it tells, or the character Depp plays. It's about redemption. It's about proving that, even after everything he has been through, Johnny Depp still has what it takes. That his past mistakes, the controversies, and the public battles don't define who he is as an artist or as a person. This is Depp's chance to redefine himself, to show the world that his best days aren't behind him, that, in fact, his future could be even brighter than before. But we can't help but wonder if the industry is ready to welcome him back with open arms. Can Johnny Depp ever truly move beyond the shadow of the past? His career, once filled with accolades and applause, has now been marred by personal struggles and public scandal. Some may argue that it's too late for him, that the damage done is irreversible, and that Hollywood has already moved on. After all, the entertainment industry is ruthless. It's not known for second chances, especially not when the past is as complicated as Depp's. And yet, there is still hope. That tiny flickering flame that refuses to be extinguished. Johnny Depp has shown time and time again that he is capable of surprising us. His ability to reinvent himself, his willingness to evolve, and his sheer force of will make him a force to be reckoned with. But can he do it again? Can he prove that he still has the power to leave a mark on Hollywood? And not just as a former star, but as a relevant, thriving artist? Day Drinker is more than just a movie. It's the battleground on which Johnny Depp's future will be determined. This film will serve as a reflection of his entire journey, from the highs of his career to the depths of his personal turmoil. It will ask one question: can Johnny Depp rise again? The box office numbers, the reviews, the reaction from fans and critics alike will all be a mirror of Depp's place in the world. If the film succeeds, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter, a triumphant return to the top. A moment of redemption not just for Depp the actor, but for Depp the person. A chance to wipe away the stains of the past and show the world that he still has the ability to be the star we all once adored. But if Day Drinker fails, if it doesn't connect with audiences or critics, it may well be the final nail in the coffin. The world will have seen enough. Hollywood will have moved on, and Johnny Depp will be relegated to the shadows of what could have been. His legacy, which once seemed untouchable, may be reduced to nothing more than a fleeting memory. It's a lot to carry. The weight of an entire career, an entire legacy rests on this one film. Depp's future, his place in Hollywood, could all come crashing down or rise from the ashes reborn. There's no middle ground here. There's no maybe. This is make or break. And yet, as we sit on the edge of this uncertain future, all we can do is wait. The fate of Johnny Depp is out of our hands. We have no control over how Day Drinker will perform or how the world will react. But what we do have is the power to witness a turning point in history. The chance to see if Depp can reclaim what was once his, or if he will fade into the background of Hollywood's forgotten stars. Will Day Drinker be the triumph we've all been waiting for? The comeback of a lifetime that will prove the doubters wrong and remind the world of Johnny Depp's immense talent and unwavering spirit? Or will it be yet another tragic chapter in a life that has already seen too much turmoil? A story that never quite reached the end we all hoped for. The countdown begins. As we sit in this moment of uncertainty, one thing is clear. Day Drinker will determine the course of Johnny Depp's future. There's no way to predict how it will end, but one thing is for sure, we are all watching. If you want to know how this story unfolds, if you want to see whether Johnny Depp rises or falls, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Celeb Buzz, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Day Drinker will be Johnny Depp's triumphant return, or has Hollywood already moved on? We want to hear from you. This is a story we're all part of, and it's only just beginning.